Hello, everyone. Good morning. We are here today with intuitive numerologist Sue Coffin, as always. This is our fourth time
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
unit. They're starting to add up, and so we've been talking about personal year energy. And today we're going to be doing personal year energy 5 and 6 is what we're talking about. So if you've tuned in previously or if you've commented and you are in a 5 year or a 6 year, you're going to want to listen up today because Sue's gonna be talking about that personal year energy. And so I'm going to hand it right over to Sue.
Nice, nice. Oh, I love doing these. I love sharing about numbers because numbers are in everything and everything can be calculated to find the vibration of it. I think it's really important where it's just we didn't have a guest today, so we have a little
Right.
extra time with her to explain why it's so important to know your personal year energy. We work in 9 year cycles and each year has its own theme. And if we know what that theme is, we can lean into it and get the most out of it. What Chelcie and I do with these live is give you the basic um, characteristics of the energy. But when you get a reading, we're diving deep into the chart and how that's working in your life. Energy is constant flux, constant moving. Even in astrology, the planets are always moving. We know that because we can see that, but it's also happens with the energy that we can do predictive through numerology.
Now, Sue, I had a question from someone recently, and we were talking about life path, and we were also talking about personal year. And they said, "Well, what's the difference? Why are there two numbers? Can you explain a little bit about the difference between personal year and life path?"
Most definitely. The life path is which we calculate through month, day, and year, right? It's the most solid position in a chart because we can't change that those numbers at all. And the life path is the stage that we're performing on. It's also our characteristics, and it's law of attraction. We pull things towards us with that using the characteristic of those numbers. The personal year energy works off from the life path because we're using your month and day of birth. So the calculation is still using those numbers. And this is the theme. It's helping you to learn more about your stage, your life path. Did that make sense?
I think so. I think maybe putting a number to it might make it better. So let's just say you're a life path 3,
Yeah.
which is calculated from your birthday,
Correct.
which we all have one of those, whether
Yeah.
it's correct or not. I don't know. Most of us know what our birth date is for sure. And then you have that personal year energy kind of working with that. So let's say you're a 3 life path and you're going into a 5 personal year energy. How would those two numbers work with each other? What would that kind of mean for that energy?
um, the three energy is the inner child, right? It's a great communicator, very creative. So the 5 is going to support the life path, that life path, because it wants to be communicable and it wants freedom. It wants to be a little bit more playful, social. So there's a lot of good vibes with a 3 life path and a 5 personal year. Yeah.
And so then let's say we're that same person, we have a 3 life path and we head into a 6 year. How would that change? I mean, other than the
Okay.
personal
So,
year changing, but
yeah,
how would that work?
correct. Well, 3, 6, and 9 are emotional numbers.
Mhm.
So there's probably going to be some emotional times during this year. And that doesn't mean bad. I mean, it could be very fun because 3 is playful. It wants to be with people. It wants to have lots of friends. But there can be some triggers in the 6 personal years. And with the 3, a lot of times it has to do with the friends. So sometimes friends will trigger us because 3 energy is learning how to speak its truth from its heart. And there's going to be certain years that's going to accentuate that so that they are working harder on that. And so I don't think it's a hard year, There's a lot of responsibility with 6 that comes in, but I think through a reading, I could help somebody understand how to navigate through that and make it more easier.
The first thing that pops into my mind with a 5 and a 3 would be fast paced. Um, a whirlwind of a year. Things are moving fast. You're making it through. The 6, where it's more about home, to me seems like it might be a little bit slower. And when you think of home, you think of family, not necessarily friends, but really the 6 is about relationships as a whole. So like you just said, you might have some friends have some change up with friend dynamics versus family if you're going into that combination.
Yeah, that's very good. Yay, Chelcie. Good job. Good job. Yeah. Yeah. That's the fun thing about a reading, and the energy is in constant flux, constantly. Why do we have one month that's really good and the next month it's not so good? The energy has shifted. And if we know what's good that energy wants from us, then we can lean into it. Right? For instance, Chelcie and I are in a one personal year. We started a brand new cycle. So we're new beginnings in this year. And this month for us is a 2, and it slows things down. It wants us to look at the details and things. It's not a giddy up go. It wants us. And both Chelcie and I are go-getters, so we're just kind of waiting for February.
Which is our 3 month. We're very excited for 3. Three's fast.
Yes. Yeah. So it constantly changes, and that's why it's so fun. You can either get a personal year reading and go to my website and order that, or you can start a group. And sometimes the group is just one person. I have a few groups that are just one solo groups, which we don't have a name for that. What's a solo group?
Yeah.
Anybody's got any ideas, then they can send that in.
Put it in the comments.
And what we do is we meet monthly and we review, and we have so much fun, and we learn so much about numbers and numerology. Chelcie is in one, and it's
that's
fun.
how I started, and I told Sue I'll never go without it because I enjoy it so much. I do it with one other friend, and it's that time per month that we get together and get to see what each other's been up to. It's better than Facebook. When you're looking up what your friends are up to, it's much better because you get to really know on a deeper level.
I have groups where somebody might be in Maine and then they have a daughter in another state. Well, as a matter of fact, a daughter in Montana. I have one of those groups. I have a friend who is out in Oregon, and she's got a couple of friends in Maine. So they get to connect once a month and see what's going on in the life. It's just a lot of fun.
It's so fun. So for those of you just tuning in now, I just want to say before we dive into the 5 and 6 specifically, leave us a comment. If you want to know what personal year you're in, throw your birthday in the comments. Once this video is done and you're rewatching it, you can still put it in there and we will respond to you and let you know what personal year you're headed into. And then just a quick note where we're on number 4 out of our series here. So Sue is a professional, very well-studied, wonderful numerologist. I am myself not. I am a novice. I don't really know what I'm doing. I've had some experience from doing calendar group with Sue. I've had a few readings over the past, I'd say 4 years. And so I'm really interested in what numerology is and how it works. So she is kind of taking me on under her wing to teach.
You don't give yourself enough credit, Chelcie. You're doing very well. I mentor Chelcie, and yes, she's doing very well. And I suspect we'll be reading.
Yeah. Someday, not right now, but I'm definitely in the practice mode. So for all of my friends out there that are watching, feel free to send me a message. I'd love to play and
Yeah.
learn with that. So with that said, feel free to leave us a comment at any point in time. Sue is going to talk about the 5 personal year and some of the traits that you might encounter if you're in a 5 personal year.
Yeah. The 5 personal year moves very quickly. It sits in between 1 and 4, 6 and 9. This is the year of change. It's the pivotal year. The universe wants us to make changes. Now, does that mean it's huge? It doesn't necessarily. It could mean that just the way you're thinking about things. The 5 it wants freedom. It wants travel. Expansion. So, like I said, it moves very, very quickly. It's in this year, you might find yourself traveling, going on a trip unexpectedly, maybe. Then that's the thing about 5. 5 can bring in unexpected too. It's not necessarily everything that we change, but changes can come in. The biggest thing is to go with the flow. Allow the variety to come in. In the 4 year, we raise our boundaries. 5 wants to drop boundaries, okay? Has a lot to do with the 5 senses.
Yep.
So when we have 5 senses that are on fire, heightened, then we want some freedom. We have to be very careful of overindulgence. This can be a year where we drink too much, we eat too much, we have romantic escapades. So we have to be very careful in this year with the 5 senses.
Yeah.
Unexpected adventures and travels and right? What would you say, Chelcie? What have I missed?
Well, I was going to tell a quick little story that you kind of brought to my attention was I was in a 5-week, I believe it was a 5-week, because we have the year, we have the month, we have the week, and then it comes right down to the day. You have an energy for each day, so it really gets broken down.
Yeah.
My husband was traveling, and he was headed back home. He had a connection in New York, at LaGuardia, and it was a late night one. I think he was leaving LaGuardia around like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I was going to pick him up around 11 here in Bangor, and his flight got delayed and then canceled. And there was a big snowstorm coming. This is a couple of months ago, and we, in the moment of what are we going to do? There's no flights. Everything's going to be shut down for the next couple of days. We formulated a plan within minutes of go get a rental car. I'm going to start driving from here. If you can get a rental car and drive to Boston, I'm going to drive to Boston. I'll meet you there and then we'll drive home together. So it's not necessarily let's go on a cruise and, think about it and plan everything out. And then it could be in the 5 energy, but the 5 can be very like, okay, we got to go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Unexpected. Yeah. And if you try to resist that, it's going to cause a lot of anxiety. So when you're in a 5 year, it really is about going with the flow, allowing the variety to come in, experiment. 5s they're very curious. The energy is very curious. So it wants you to explore. Get your toes wet this year. Do things that maybe you wouldn't normally do. It could bring in something wonderful.
Yeah, could be good. We always think bad, but it could be good.
Oh no, yeah, no, we don't think bad.
Only good things.
When you talk to Sue, we always look at the positive.
Yes.
I am honest with what I see, but it's always good in everything.
Yeah. Absolutely. So headed into the 6, difference between 5 and 6. 6 is different in many ways.
The 6 energy is totally different, right? It's all about family, friends, and community. It's about responsibilities, relationships. This is a year that marriages, children being born, reunions come in, anything to do with the home life. It can bring in divorce. It can bring in things of that nature things that need to be dissolved. but the energy supports you in all those matters. So the selfless service to other people is what 6 is. It's the nurses, the doctors, the energy workers, all those people that do. We have to be very careful in this year that you work on your own boundaries and don't let people take advantage of your goodwill.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be finding that you're going to be doing more for other people, but you got to make sure you put the brake on when people are abusing that.
Yeah. It's that mom energy.
Yes, that's right. Yes,
Tired
it is.
mom. She's doing everything. She's
The
not
mama
getting anything in
bear.
return.
Yeah.
And what's that going to cause? It's going to cause a little resentment, maybe.
Yes.
A
Yes.
little
And
anger.
in this year, you'll find yourself wanting to be more at home, maybe doing home projects. Yeah. Yes. I have a 6 life path and a 6 heart's desire. So this is like the ultimate energy for me. But I have to be very careful. I have a tendency to want to do too much for people without, and I can't do that. I have to step back sometimes and let them do their own thing. It's hard. 6 can be controlling. So, and the 6 energy can bring in worry. So you have to be careful of that. You can't worry about silly things. Make sure you put it into perspective.
Oh, I'm good at worrying about silly things.
Yeah.
I'm a professional at that.
The,
Now,
the,
oh,
oh,
go ahead.
the theory behind the 6 is spiritually blessed. It
Oh,
states that in a past life, you've done something very good for somebody. So in this lifetime, you will be protected. Now, does that mean you don't have problems? No, we all have to have experiences to help ourselves grow.
yeah.
But it does mean that maybe sometimes, and in a 6 year, this can happen. If something comes up, that person's there to help you without even asking. There's always somebody or something that's helping you along the way.
Yeah. So another question I've had is so you're in a 5 year now, right? And you're headed into a 6 year, or we've just switched over. We've gone from 5 last year to 6 this year. It's January. How does that like on December 31st, you're done with the 5, and on January 1st, you're now a 6, and you've completely shifted, or how
Yeah.
does that work? Is there a little
Yeah,
bit of
that's good.
slide
That's
over in
very
there?
good, Chelsea, because the universe doesn't just throw us into things by rights. The energy, the last year's energy is with us January, February, March. It gets less and less and less, but it's still working with us. So, and if you're in a 6 year, the monthly energy would be a 7, but there's still 5. 5's working. So this is a very analytical energy. So there's maybe some problem solving around the home or around a relationship even. And the relationships is a very big word. It doesn't mean it's just your lover, your partner, or the children. I mean, we're in relationships all day long, right?
Right.
So but it's energy that wants you to look a little bit deeper. So yeah, each year, and then at the end of the year, October, November, December, you start to feel the energy of the next year coming in.
So you got a good 6 month kind of
Yeah,
transition period as you're going
yeah,
through the
yeah.
years. That's nice. That's nice of the universe to give us that.
Yes, it is. Well, it's also very interesting that, make sure I say this right, January, February, and March, the monthly energy is the same as October, November, and December. But it's different because we're being influenced by last year's energy at the beginning of the year and next year's energy at the end of the year. Did that make sense?
Makes sense.
Oh,
Anybody's head spinning out there? If
it
it is, it's okay.
is
You
okay.
can
That's
reach
my
out to
job, right?
Sue.
That's
Yes,
my
call
job to
Sue.
figure all that out. It's not your job. Your job is to listen and to be open minded so that you can allow yourself to lean into the energy.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, again, we're going to be wrapping up here for year 5 and 6, and we appreciate everybody who's going to watch this now or is going to watch it in the future. You can still comment at any time. We keep an eye on the comments, so we will respond to if you have any questions. If you're curious about anything, and it doesn't just have to be dropping your birth date. It can be, a question that you
Yeah.
have about something that Sue has said, so
Yeah.
we can kind of help clarify and have people kind of understand what numerology is and how it can help everybody in their daily lives.
Yeah.
So
Most
with that,
definitely. Because
yeah,
it's so much fun.
it really is it's fun once you start getting into it and putting all the pieces together. I enjoy it very much. So
Yeah.
if you have an
It's
interest.
it's very validating.
Mhm.
You don't usually I've only met a couple of people that I've read for that they didn't get it.
Yeah,
They were just closed down. They weren't willing to be open.
open.
Yeah, so
It
much
is, yeah, you have to be a little bit open and willing. What I found when I first started, I'll give a quick little thing. When I very first had my first reading with Sue, and then kind of talked about Calendar Club, was um, on a 7 day. Let's say it's a 7 day for me today. It wasn't. Yesterday was a 7 day for me today. But yesterday I knew that I was not going to. It wasn't going to be a fast paced day. I wasn't going to get a lot of work done. I wasn't going to, all of a sudden start something new. It was a day for me to sit and think. And that's exactly what the day was. I had a bunch of things kind of thrown at me, and I took the day and thought about them. Now, if I had tried to giddy up and go and get all the things done that I had on my to-do list, I would have been resisting that energy, and I probably would have missed out on something that I ended up thinking about or contemplating
right.
or this and that. So it
Yeah.
helped me go from, okay, it is okay to take a breath because it is this month, this day, this week, whatever it might be. And so, okay, I'm not going to be moving at full pace, or I am like ready to go. This is the
Yeah.
time for me to get my stuff
Because
done and get out there.
what's today, Chelsea?
Today's an
Today's
eight,
an 8 day.
and
That's
we're like
strong
ready to
energy.
go.
That's strong energy. So you knew yesterday that today was coming. So it was
Yes.
okay to sit and contemplate, think, plan, do all of it. 7 is mental. It can be very mental. So, but 8 is go get it.
Yeah.
Go get it done.
Get it done. That's our day today. So with that, we're gonna leave you guys. We're gonna go get on. Sue and I are on the same
Yeah.
schedule by total chance. So we're gonna go get after the rest of the day.
But we're on the same schedule, but it's different. And why is
Oh
it different?
yes.
Because
Well,
our core energy is different, the energy that makes us who we are. So
yes. The
that's where
life
readings
path.
are so important because it's the same, but it's not the same.
Right. We're very different people.
All right, so our next get together will be
Yes.
February 7th.
Yes, I believe so. February, and it'll be not this Friday, but the Friday. Well, today's Friday, not next Friday, the Friday after that.
Right.
And we're going to be talking about 7 and 8, which are
Yes.
some great
We're
numbers.
chugging right along.
Yeah.
Yeah, so please leave comments or questions. I absolutely love questions. I love to think. I love to try to help people understand a little bit deeper. So,
Yeah. And it helps me learn. So I love them. I love them
yeah,
too.
nice, nice. All right, Chelsea, you take care. I'll see you on the 7th.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.